Hi, it's Josh Goldberg here. Welcome back to the channel. So please put your hand up if you are in a relationship or if you've ever been in a relationship that was highly confusing, draining, and you felt like that you were going crazy. Okay, like these types of relationships where, your partner will be saying very nice things, saying how much they love you, making you food, doing nice things for you, and then out of nowhere they appear to switch, and now they're complaining about you, and they are making you out to be an aggressive person. They're saying hurtful or discouraging things about you, and they're being aggressive towards you. Okay, hands up if you've ever been in one of these confusing and draining relationships. Okay, me too. So today I want to make a quick video about what's going on in these types of relationships and why are they so confusing and draining, and what's the other person doing? Like, how come it seems like that they're two different people? Okay, so there's a few different names for these types of personalities. Okay, so like the behavior like of splitting, of the borderline person, switching, cycling. Okay, this type of kind of like split behavior of the borderline person, the narcissist, and the sociopath is incredibly confusing and draining, and it can make a person feel like they're going crazy. Like, is this issue me? Is the issue them? Is the issue the relationship? Like, what's going on? Where's the problem? It's confusing and draining, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about what is going on. Okay, so the three different types of personalities. Okay, so borderline personality, the narcissist, and the sociopath are all defensive responses to severe attachment trauma. Okay, as in childhood. So the borderline person will, at times in a relationship, they will behave in a way to validate their unresolved emotional trauma. The narcissist, which is a false self-creation to conceal and to cover up this attachment trauma. So at times in a relationship, they will do things in order to get supply for their narcissistic false self. And sometimes they will do it through being grandiose, or if they're not so successful and they become more or less a covert narcissist, they will act vulnerable and soft in order to get supply by being a covert narcissist, which is also incredibly confusing. The sociopath is all about getting results, okay? About getting the results and gaining things that they desire, okay? It could be sex, money, position, respect, glory, fame, whatever it is the sociopath is looking for. So they'll act whatever way that they have to act in order to get what it is that they want. It's incredibly manipulative. So all of these three personalities have this type of cycling and split behavior, which can be incredibly confusing. And the reason why it's so confusing is because the motive and the intent of what the person is doing at those times is obviously concealed from you. You don't know what it is that they're doing. So they're essentially using you in order to validate some form of ego function for themselves. Okay, like I said, if the borderline person is validating themselves as a victim, or if they're validating their unresolved emotional trauma of shame and guilt, the narcissist is using you in order to get narcissistic supply for their false self, and the sociopath is using you in order to gain things, okay, property or respect, or maybe they just want to irritate you so that they feel empowered. Okay, they're using you in order for some form of self-gain. And the reason why these relationships are so confusing and draining is because you don't know what exactly they're doing. Because the narcissist, the sociopath, and the borderline person are dissociated from their emotional trauma. So these people themselves, with these personality disorders, with these personality types, are not even so clear on what they're doing. Okay, they're so dissociated from themselves that they don't even know what they're doing themselves. So you are even more in the dark. Okay, and that's why it's so confusing and so draining, because you're constantly thinking like, why is my partner treating me so well and promising me that we're going to be together forever, and then a few hours later they're devaluing me and calling me horrible names and saying that they no longer want to be with me. Okay, it's incredibly confusing. It drives a person crazy. And the reason why it's so confusing and draining is because they're not talking about the trauma that they are validating through their behavior. So if you're in a relationship with this type of personality, there's no set solution, like there's no set skill or exercise that I can give you right now. You have to deal with it on a case-by-case basis, because every situation is different and every person is different, and I can't just give you like a, just do ABC and it'll work. So if you are in a relationship that is confusing or draining on an ongoing basis, it's a very big red flag that your partner and the person that you're involved with is using you to validate some form of ego function and some form of unresolved emotional trauma. And that means that it's going to be very draining and emotionally damaging to you. So if you have this type of relationship on your hands, please feel free to reach out and to get support, guidance, and help, and to get the understanding that you need. If you have any experiences in these types of confusing relationships where the person was like splitting from one person to another person and was driving you crazy, please feel free to put a comment down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos.